What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another replay cast here in Heroes Hearth Warcraft 3. My name is Kendric, and I present to you an Asian derby between two outstanding players. Korean side of things is represented by the man Sok, of course going in for the humans. One of the strongest human players in the world, I would actually say, with the very recent reappearing of Infi and TH. I think Sok and Chimiko were basically leading the charge for the human faction. And facing him from China is the man, the myth, the legend, Colorful. A very disputed player, I think, within the community. Some people love him, some people hate him. He's very inconsistent. Consistently inconsistent, I think, is the best attribute to describe Colorful. He actually lost to Sok in many, many games. I think there was this infamous best of 7, or best of 9 even, in which he lost every single game to the Korean. He recently broke that streak, though. Forgot the name of the tournament, but he was able to overcome him. And let's see if this game, or what kind of order, what kind of direction this game is going to show us. As always, guys, I didn't do any research. I didn't look into the replays beforehand, so this is basically like it was for the first time, like it is for the first time of me presenting you those games, so I'll be surprised alongside you of what's going to happen here. We see a Demon Hunter coming through, by the way, for the Night Elf player. No Warden, which strikes me quite surprisingly here. No Warden, which seems to be the go-to choice style for many Night Elves against human. Single hero Warden, just trying to level that Batgirl up to level 6. So she gets the ultimate. And of course, with constant worker harass, that is very doable to achieve. Now, while the Demon Hunter is being sent across the map, we see that the Ancient of War and the Archer has already started the dirty work here. Make sure that the Ancient of War, of course, doesn't steal any experience by accident. It still happens to a couple of players every now and then. Finds the Claws of Attack +6. Very happy Demon Hunter here. On the flip side of things, we see Sok, of course, with the help of Militia, trying to basically speed up his own creeping game quite significantly. Goes for the Archmage, of course, in this map on Amazonia. It makes a lot of sense. Mountain King first, which is sometimes something we see against Night Elves. And we see these cool games where Mountain King Warden standoffs are of the norm. It's not really to be applied here. So, so far so good. Night Elf is switching it up a little. Wait, did Colorful actually forget about this Apprentice Wizard? And is this Apprentice Wizard eventually going to prove to be a little bit of a problem? Wait, he... Oh no, he forgot both of them. He just wanted to move on to the human side of things as quickly as possible. So he didn't forget about it. He willingly ignored them. It just looked, with a vision, it just looked like he forgot about it. Oh, and he goes Immolation! Immolation, baby! It's such a cool tool that Night Elves have started to use a little bit more against humans, especially when there's so many militia and workers that he can surround the Demon Hunter with. So cool to see this. Of course, very mana dependent is that build, and you need to be able to know your limits. Oftentimes, Immolation players, they overextend their welcome, and they let themselves willingly get surrounded to immolate every target nearby, only to then bite the dust because they took off more than they could chew. Now, in this case, though, Colorful knowing exactly when it's time to leave and when it's time to go. So, lost most of his mana, lost most of his health on the Demon Hunter, so he now at least knows what's going on, though. The gold mine, of course, was already deprived of the big golem, so the item went to the hands of the Archmage for Sok, and he got reinforcements in. A new set of militia came through, but this was already some great damage being dealt here overall for Colorful. And now the question remains, of course, is he going to go in for round 2? The Demon Hunter almost close to level 3, and this is really where his power level begins to spike out. He got boots as well, which I'm very much a fan of on these fast agility heroes. You want to be able to catch up, to stick to your opponents like glue, and there we go. He goes in again, right-clicks on the structure, should let himself get a little bit closer to the workers, though. Now, he tries to brute force his way through. With the help of the archers, he might actually be able to cancel this expansion process. And now, of course, took a lot of damage. Needs to go lick his wounds once again. Level 3 in the Archmage means level 2 Water Elementals. Another nice stall. So, it's a little bit debatable if you should have gone for a couple of workers. I think with the help of the archers, he could have taken down at least 2 more. And that would have almost certainly been the level 3, by the way, as well. So, Yeah, man. Oh, this is already shaping up to be a great game. Sok now is trying to contain the Demon Hunter in his own half of the base, his own half of the map, and he's basically flipping it upside down, you know? He says aggression is sometimes the best defense, and he's basically trying to go for some Moonwells, trying to hunt some Wisps down, and that will hopefully prevent the Demon Hunter and the Archers to harass the upcoming expansion once again. Naga, second hero, full aggression from Colorful, wants to keep the the grip tight onto the human player. By the way, can we just take a moment and highlight Sok's great multitasking, splitting his army into with the Footies and the Water Elemental harassing the base, whereas the the Archmage was busy shopping. So cool to see that, really. And this Hunter's Hall is not going to go down anytime soon. Nice Wisp juggling here in the Entangled Gold Mine. Loses one eventually now. But yeah, no Hunter's Hall, of course, means no tech, no Huntresses of some sort, if you wanted to go that route in the first place. But now with the Naga, this should be the end of this harass. Moves the Wisp nice and close to the Moonwell to keep him safe and alive. He didn't detonate any of the Wisps, curiously enough, against the Water Ellies. Fun fact to highlight here a little bit. Yeah, and Sok moves home without really taking that many casualties. By the way, did the Ancient of War just block the Footman on its way home? I think that's what just happened. So, a couple of losses here in the end, but the main objective for Sok has been achieved. The expansion is through, the tower is in production, and the shop is coming as well. Now, the question is, how many Footies did he reproduce in his base? And does he have enough to keep the Demon Hunter at bay, who's now level 3, of course, who now has all 3 spells available. You, of course, don't want to level too hard into Immolation, because now in the later stages of the game, the mana burn is going to prove to be so much more useful. The tower just finished, and that alone is enough to drive away the heroes of the Night Elf player. Not before he tries to snipe another Footy here, though. By the way, look at these workers. They're not mining. They're basically just blocking the space on the tower so they can repair and keep it alive for as long as possible. To be careful here. Is there a staff on the Demon Hunter? No. No staff. That means the Naga, if Sok does it well, is going to be trapped here. Both heroes might actually be trapped, so TP needs to be popped immediately. Or, if he wants to save it, just let the Naga die. She's only level 1. That's an interesting decision here by Colorful. Not transferring the TP over, letting the Naga die. True, truth be told, she's only level 1, but without her, his pressure potential is going to be weakened significantly. Hero's way low. Archmage can't do anything. Tier 2 still only now on its way. Holy crap, that was a late Tier 2. I didn't expect that the harassing was going so well. Or maybe Sok just forgot about it because he was multitasking so crazy. Looking at his lumber count, though, tells a story that it was probably not possible to do that before. So the lumber harass from Colorful was going really, really well. Alright, what is the solution now to Sok? More Footies to stay safe in the early game, maybe even hire some mercenaries? Yes, and that's exactly what he does. I wouldn't even mind if he has the goal to go for an Ogre Mauler as well. Just to provide a little bit more oomph to this whole early game stage. Has workers mining some lumber there, chopping some lumber, rather. He could optimize his lumber flow a little bit if he used those workers and sent them over here. That's something pro players oftentimes forget about because they have so much stuff to do. Cute little position here, by the way, for these workers to be safe from the melee attacks of the Demon Hunter, who's now completely dry on mana, by the way, ironically. Yeah, that's what it feels like, Demon Hunter, to have no mana when playing against you. Sok still does have a TP, so his units are very hurt. So he's trying to buy as much time as possible and lure the Night Elf into this corner. With the water, at least, I think he has the upper hand now anyways against the Dryads. All the piercing damage. Let's see. Shredder coming down for Colorful. Very smart, in my opinion, because he did lose a lot of Wisps earlier to the aggression by Sok. So Shredder's, I think, sometimes just the tiny little difference that it makes between losing and winning a game. We've seen many games where players just hoard an absurd amount of gold, but they can't utilize their resources because they lack the lumber because of early harassing or economy mismanagement. So this Shredder really just can tip the balance in your favor. So I'm really, really glad that Colorful win for one. 2 towers now coming through. Third one might be developed relatively soon as well. What's Sok's lumber looking like at the moment? Oh, he too has a Shredder. Nice. So yeah, I think that's exactly what he needed to make sure that he can crank out those tier 2, tier 3 units. Shield upgrade coming through relatively late now, mind you, for Sok. He's also supply stuck. No, there we go. Farm just went through. 54 out of 60, as you can see. All right, counterattack. He catches the Night Elf while creeping. Level 2 for the Naga. Level 1 for the Naga now on the flip side as well for Sok. No Mountain King. Trying to match double hero with double hero as quickly as possible. Immolation now on the way to potentially dealing a lot of damage. Goes with a mana burn 2 on the Archmage, so no water at least to be... Oh my goodness, the footy surround. Are you kidding me, Sok? Just flexing his muscle. Gets the hero once again with shield footies, mind you, as well. So good. Now Sok has to TP out. He invested a lot of his early combat momentum into surrounding the Naga. Took a lot of damage on the Archmage in return. And the question now remains, did Sok see this expansion? That is the big question right now. If he saw it, oh, blocks himself in with too ambitious of a SimCity process layout. All right, that's fair. So he has to rebuild a farm somewhere else. He's doing it right now already. Overall, I would say great fight for Sok, though. Greater Mana Pot, Night Elves are probably the only race who wouldn't burst out into tears of joy upon finding this item. In fact, I think I remember watching Little DC's stream the other day, and when he found a Greater Mana and he played Demon Hunter as well, he said, "Ah, crap item," which is probably something you don't get to hear anywhere else. But yeah, there aren't really that many heroes for the Night Elf that require Greater Mana potions. The Warden is, of course, a big exception. Like, if you go Warden against humans and you find a Greater Mana, it's going to be fans for days. Fan of Knives. Very strong. This is just an illusion, just scouting it out, so Sok now knows about the expansion. Very precious piece of information. And I think he's going to transition into casters, maybe some spell breakers relatively soon. Riflemen coming as well. Of course, the more piercing damage against Drides, the better. Bears coming for the Night Elf player. Colorful Man. I feel like, despite losing the Naga every now and then, his harass has been really good so far. And the moment more bears enter the fray, I think he's going to have a very competitive army to send into what Sok currently has. Of course, the more time passes, the harder it's going to be for the Night Elf to actually compete against the human, because as we all know, human tier 3 is one of the scariest things to go up against. And even a sizable tier 2 force consisting of rifles, priests, a couple of sorks. Very scary for any Night Elf to go up against. And it looks like that Arcane Sanctum will go down without really a big fight. It looks like Sok was busy creeping, getting some items. Rune Bracers, meh. Belt of Giant Strength, meh. It's okay to keep the Naga safe and sound because she was under a lot of pressure in the past. But yeah, he's gonna trade more buildings in his main base for an expansion. That's totally fine for someone who's already mining for an expansion. That's a lot of normal damage. Is Sok committing to this fully? Fork Lightnings those pure wisps away. Those poor little wisps. And he gets the expansion. TP's out to safety. Could have transferred that to the Naga 2 to be 100% safe, but he is fine, and he is dandy, and he's looking good. 2 base versus 1 base advantage was maintained. And oh boy, Colorful, did he gamble there or what? His TP came in very, very late. Very, very late. So at least he got an Arcane Sanctum, which of course has already been rebuilt, so the value of that is very questionable. Got a couple of units here, a couple of workers. Yeah, this is looking really good for Sok regardless, though. And he knows how strong he is. He's likely going to attack here once again. Nice, cute little trick here, by the way, for Colorful to lure out the big Granite Golem. Of course, he has to go for these risky maneuvers on the map right now, because he's behind economically. I would say he's behind army-wise relatively soon, so he needs the heroes. He needs the items to empower his army. And the unholy aura granted by the Legion Doomhorn is exactly that kind of stuff that brings him back into this. Having the DK aura on the entire army for the bears and the drides and the heroes, most importantly, is super important. Like, this Demon Hunter is so fast, like, nobody's going to run away from him. He's a race car. With boots and the aura, he's going to stick to every human's units like a full bottle of glue, basically. Here we go. Tries to go in, but look at the units here. Look at the unit count. We look at Colorful, who's currently sitting on 55 out of 60 food. 76 for Sok. Are you kidding me? This is a scary looking human army, guys. Level 3, level 5, level 3 water elementals. Yeah, even for this number of Dryades, it's going to be a pain in the butt. They're going to run out of mana relatively soon. Bears, any other transitions going in? Mountain Giants coming through. All right, now we're talking. If Colorful manages to get 1 or 2 Mountain Giants into the mix, this is looking like a whole different ballgame here. Footies and Spellbreakers are not enough to deal very quickly with these Mountain Giants. The human player would need Knights as the most formidable tool to counter that. Tier 3 coming right now. Very smart, as if we summoned it. Very good. No mortar teams in this mix, by the way, which is oftentimes a preferred choice for human players to deal with rifles. And mortar damage is basically great, with shrapnel shards, of course, in particular, against any type of unit. Mortars, if left uncontested for too long, will shredder your army, regardless of what it consists of. Such a strong unit. By the way, what are these militia doing here? Is Sok trying to expand in Colorful's face? I'm pretty sure he saw this wisp, didn't he? So he needs to get rid of that. Another major encounter is happening here on the right-hand side of the map, though. 1 Mountain Giant, 3 Bears. That is one hell of a front line here for Colorful. The Heroes, 3-5 against 3-5. Of course, both heroes, both first heroes, really turning things up at level 6. Metamorphosis or Mass Teleport, super powerful spells. The Footies are just getting absolutely slaughtered here by the Bears and by the Mountain Giants. But the moment the Demon Hunter has to disappear, that's when the Knight of Army should follow suit. That's when they're going to suffocate quite a bit here. No more staff procs ready, so 1 Bear falls. They're all slowed. They're all focus fired here. Healing Scroll coming through for Colorful. Another nice Fork Lightning connects in the backline of the Riflemen. The Mountain Giants in position, need to drop taunt after taunt. Very important right now. The Demon Hunter, by the way, dishing out some solid damage too. And the Dryads are basically untouched. Level 4 for the Naga. Colorful is holding this very well so far. Has a couple of hurt units and needs to heal and retreat immediately. But this was as okay of a fight as he will get. Oh my god, Sok is building up a tower to see. Oh, wait a minute. Did I see a cannon tower here? 2 cannon towers, 1 arc. He's basically building tower defense here. And this is... No way. He's going to cancel them all, right? He's going to have to... Yeah, he's going to... Okay. 2 of them go through, but he can't defend it even. Colorful came here at the right time. Okay. I guess this was just a fun move by Sok, because if this goes through, guys, with 2 cannon towers... It's going to be very costly and time-consuming for his opponent, Colorful, to break that. So I think he was trying to do that as a distraction so he could peacefully creep the Granite Golem. Of course, he now knows exactly where Colorful is. And Colorful, I think, being the experienced player that he is, he smells something fishy go down. He realizes that, why would you do that? Probably because you want to creep the 1 spot that's still left available, and we're going to go there and we're going to find it. Kills another Sorceress here, so gets a couple of units for his efforts, and finds 1 more Rock Golem. But what was the item that Sok actually got from this? Helm of Battle. Oh my goodness. Grubby, in the recent Fight Night, labeled it the worst item available. Of course, depends on which hero picks it up. But Strength and Agility is not something you really want to have. If you find one of these stat-boosting items, you want to have a little bit of intelligence on it, as intelligence is very useful for pretty much any hero available in the game. Mountain Giants and Bears, a little bit too late to the party. The Demon Hunter got shredded down already, needs to have a rejuvenation, a world for some healing, a kingdom for some healing. That's the Demon Hunter's motto right now. Water Elementals tanking a lot of damage. The Mountain Giants in good position, though. Need to juggle the aggro just a little bit more. The Dryads are untouched. Mortar team's in range now, though. Yeah, this is not something that Colorful can fight into. Too great of a concave was the army backline for the human. He might get some workers and maybe a footy or 2 for his efforts. So no catastrophic losses for Colorful. He's still very much in this game. And the Demon Hunter, most importantly, is currently sitting on 5.6. Only a little bit more for the infamous Metamorphosis upgrade. And you can really see that he keeps, Colorful that is, he keeps killing units of his human opponent. And you can see this being reflected in the overall XP count, whereas the Archmage is sitting at 5.2, the Demon Hunter is at 5.6. So, you know, a priest here, a sorceress there, a couple of militias, he is going there. Tiny baby steps, but he is getting there. Shredder no longer needed, by the way, for Sok. He now adds this to his fighting army. He definitely has more than enough lumber for any time soon, really. And more Spellbreakers. He is going for it. Sorceress Master Training. Polymorph. Could this be something we're going to see against the Bears, maybe? It's a very mana-costly spell. And, of course, you want to keep it for invisibility for the most time. Yeah, let's see how that goes. If Colorful hits Sok from the right angle, like here, if he catches those mortar teams off guard, maybe gets a couple of Chief Priests as well, this is exactly how he can fight. By going down here, once again, Mountain Giants in position. These big boys will have to lead the charge. No Bears, by the way, to drop Rejuvenation. Of course, that's a little bit something that I have to pay attention to. Rejuvenation will get stolen by the Spellbreakers. So now, of course, it makes a lot more sense why you want to keep those Bears in bear form, these Druids, that is. And they're shredding the Spellbreakers. Once the Spellbreakers are gone, you can maybe consider dropping a Reju or two. The Dryads were microed very nicely against the Mortar teams as well. And all of a sudden, the Night Elves have broken through. And the Demon Hunter is now 5.7. Gets another Water Ellie. 5.8. Ladies and gentlemen, these towers, a little bit of extra fodder here. Won't really give any XP because they weren't developed. But this expansion slot is now free. And I like the decision by Colorful. Really not wasting any resources. Keeping his army fresh and dope. And only now could he then move his Tree of Eternity over. Rather than, you know, building an expansion only to have it cancelled by Sok over and over and over again. Sok, by the way, realized that he overstayed his welcome there in terms of army supply and killed a couple of footies so he can crank out more precious units, such as casters or mortar teams. Is now sitting flat at 80. That's where you want to be. The moment you go 81 or higher, that's where you go into a high upkeep. And 3 gold per worker charge? That's not what you want to have. It really seems to me like both armies are gearing up for the final combat. For one of the major clashes. It's very admirable, by the way, by Colorful to stay in this game and to keep his units healthy. Not losing too much. His micro has been really good so far. And Sok, there's not really anything the players can do anymore. No creeping except a couple of leftovers. Leftovers from yesterday. Okay, and shop control. So important, you know. Who gets the invols? Who gets the healing scrolls? That is going to be a key question to be answered for future fights. I think Colorful could also take the Shredder with him. Hell yeah, he should do that. And he does it immediately. Very nice. Very nice. The Knights are leading the charge for the human army, and the Bears answer and respond accordingly. The Mountain Giants this time a little bit far behind. But yeah, these Spellbreakers are very much falling against that normal damage. One bear goes down. Where's the staff? Saves it for something else. Demon Hunter's so close to level 6. We're going to keep him in the loop a little bit more. The Dryad flank coming through into the backline. Focusing on the mortar teams. When the counters become the countered. And it's so close right now. The Demon Hunter needs to be in better shape. Level 6, double level up for Colorful. Let's go, baby. Metamorphosis in here. Chaos damage raining over with an Orb of Venom. Empowered even more. But can the Demon Hunter swing the tides? The human numbers are getting overwhelming here. Nice focus fire a little bit now onto the Sea Witch. Needs to maneuver her out of danger. Shredder is falling. The Mountain Giants are standing tall, keeping their ground once again. Knights are falling. Human units are falling. Level 6 Demon Hunter is fighting, and Sok is fighting it through. He thinks he has the upper hand with sheer numbers. Mountain Giant, first one to fall here. Dangerously low in health. Oh man, this Demon Hunter, though, with a greater range of his ranged attacks now in Metamorphosis, gets a Priest here. Oh, one more attack, gets a Priest, and a Rifleman too. Fantastic. And a Sork as well. Damn, that Demon Hunter's putting in that work. And during all of this, I think the expansion is coming through. The Tree of Eternity has successfully rooted again. Oh boy, another bear is falling, though. His comrade. Oh, he saves the higher HP one. Very smart. Very good. He saved one at least. Had to choose, had to decide. One more being slowed here, sadly. Yeah, slow is really kicking in. Of course, it was teleported to the expansion. The only main tree left alive. Oh my god, the Archmage taking so much zap and burn. And this TP is huge for Colorful right now. The expansion is safe for now. or should I say the former main base. But income is flowing, and that is so important. It is daytime though, guys. It is daytime, so the Moonwells are not here to stay. And these two Mountain Giants, how are you going to heal them up? With Reju alone, that's going to take a long time. Mana back onto the Naga, man. The heroes are looking so strong, and especially this Unholy Aura is putting in that work. Of course, that helps, funnily enough. That helps a lot keeping the units in good shape. But does Sok give Colorful enough time to reproduce? I am not so sure, man. These heroes are still looking rather low in HP. The Demon Hunter could basically just try to go after them. Yet he does exactly that. Right-click on the Naga. Anti-Magic Shell. Anti-Magic Potion now deployed. Dispelled immediately, though. But it bought some valuable seconds to get the Demon Hunter in control. And with taunts and right-clicks from the DH, those human heroes are looking in a very rough spot, man. Nice kiting, though, keeping the heroes safely for now. Now it is Colorful's Naga all of a sudden that's in peril. Oh my goodness. I cannot tell how this game is going to go. It all comes down to hero control and how well people kite each other. Mountain Giants. Oh my. Man, this human army is still huge, though. One Mountain Giant falls. Colorful has the heroes, but Sok has the army. And the Archmage is so close to level 6 himself here. Oh boy. A Wisp would be enough to bring him there now with Mass Teleport. And then, of course, it's a whole different ballgame. Then you have an escape all the time. Then Sok can just siege up, deal some structural damage, and peace out. This Tree of Eternity is pretty tanky. There is mortar teams, though. 3 at a time. Siege sticks have been deployed, and Metamorphosis is live now as well. Full HP Demon Hunter, who gets slowed, though. Very nicely done. And now with the slow becoming the MVP spell, Sok can just hide and run. Run and gun. Kite until the end of time, and here goes the emergency exit. Oh, so sick. So sick right now. I think Colorful needs more Dryads. Yeah, he needs more Dryads for Dispel to unleash the power of his Demon Hunter to the fullest. Naga Sea Witch, level 6 almost as well. It's not over though, mind you. It's definitely not over. Just because the army is looking strong for Sok doesn't mean that if he gives Colorful enough time to recover, he can't strike back. Yeah, I agree. More Dryads, and just take care of the Dryads a little bit more, but dispel the slow, dispel the water at least. Those are going to be the core duties of these Night Elf Dryads in the back. Oh boy. Slow again, once on the Demon Hunter. Water Ellie. Actually save the mana, I agree. Oh man, Anti-Magic Potion. Those are expensive over the course of time. And gets dispelled immediately by Sok. So well done. Mountain Giants cannot connect. Demon Hunter cannot connect. A surround on the Archmage maybe. Forcing... Wait, does he have enough mana? He gets mana burned! And has to be staffed out to safety. Demon Hunter as well, though. Both first heroes no longer in the fight. Oh my god. He couldn't cast Mass Teleport because of the mana issues. And the Demon Hunter falls. I didn't even see that. Alright, everybody. Here we are back at this last engagement. And I want to see what happened to the Demon Hunter because we all need to know. It looked like he was safe already from the Staff of Preservation. But then we don't really know what happened here to the Demon Hunter. So let's see. Let's keep it in check here. Low HP. Surround on the Archmage. Gets staffed out. Boom. Demon Hunter is staffed out as well. Oh! Zippity zap. Of course, that is the big disadvantage when you have only one tree left. And that tree happens to be very close to the thick of things. So yeah, very cool to see. Sorry I didn't get it earlier in the first take. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. That was a very back and forth game between Colorful and Sok, but in the end, the human reigned supreme with relentless aggression and, to be honest, great micro on the sorceresses in particular. Like, the slows and the invisible casts were super good. Hero-wise, he didn't really have any slip-ups. Colorful lost the Naga a couple of times. Sok, I don't think, lost a single hero during the entire game. So, yeah, let us know. Feel free to like this video if you enjoyed it. And leave a subscription for more Warcraft 3 content in the very near future. Thank you so much for your support, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.